Saya Nafsira dari Strategic Engineering. Mau tahu lebih lanjut tentang apa itu ESG?
Oke, boleh. Terima kasih. Next, your turn.
My name is John from Juju in Psychology. It is an ESG related to policy.
Oh, okay. Next.
Hi, I'm Vision. I'm Salvation, right? Can you guess my boss?
Oh, okay.
So I'll share my lessons on the West.
Alright. If anything you don't understand, you can ask me. Yeah. Yes.
I'm Desmond from Tawau also. For me to attend this is because ESG is a big topic now, so we want to see how we can incorporate this in our company.
Okay. Sure.
I'm William from Chinese Chapters of Sabah. So actually, like Desmond said just now, ESG is a big topic right now. So I want to know more about ESG.
Thank you. Thank you all for your introduction. And you notice beside here have the recording because I need to use today's session for submitting to the HRBC in order for me to be an accredited trainer. So like next year onwards, I can train more courses. So are you all okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So the recording will officially start now and I will continue to conduct the session. So just a brief intro about myself. I'm Amanda. I'm from Tawau. I spent my past 5 years in public policy, but I moved to ESG since last year. Maybe you ask me why I suddenly changed from public policy to ESG, because I think these two share the common narrative whereby I can contribute for the betterment of the society. And for now, I also want to empower more companies to advocate in terms of ESG, so when the time they deal with other countries, they can be more competitive. Hari ini kami akan sentuhkan beberapa topik. So pertama sekali akan kenakan apakah kelestarian. Kedua ialah strategi perniagaan lestari, iaitu alam sekitar, sosial dan tapi ulus. Dan ketiga akan cover itu pengukuran dan pelaporan prestasi kelestarian. Dan lepas itu rehat petang, kami pun akan cover itu piawaran dan rangka kerja di peringkat tempatan dan antarabangsa dan juga pensijuran, dan juga dugaan insentif cukai dan inisiatif bank untuk PKS, dan akhir sekali ada kajian kes syarikat dan juga perancangan tingkatan, dan akhirnya akan kasih semua peserta di sini untuk tanya saya soalan. So setakat ini kamu faham sesi hari ini apa yang kami akan sentuhkankah? Boleh faham? Okey, bagus. So hari ini kami akan memahami dan menerapkan konsep asas kelestarian. Kedua, menerapkan strategi lestari serta rangka kerja dan piawaran pelaporan. Ketiga ialah kenali beberapa insentif kewangan ESG yang tersedia di pasaran. So now you can see this slide, right? There is the sustainability self-check. So this sustainability self-check is another icebreaker session whereby you can check what are the things that you already done. So for example, if let's say for the first one, you actually recycle regularly, then you can tick yourself that you already done the action. And then if let's say for the second one is like you haven't read a corporate sustainability report, then you can put cross, that means you haven't done that before. So actually for now, I will give you 1 minute to think, like out of this 6 statements, what kind of sustainability initiative that you already completed? So, kamu boleh refer itu Malay punya translation dan kamu boleh tengok apa yang kamu sudah siap dalam kelestarian. And later, I will let everyone to share your perspective. If you don't understand any statement, you can ask me. Done already? Okay. I can start from you. You can mention that which one that you already completed, which one you haven't completed out of the 6.
1, 4, 5, 6.
1, 4, 5, 6 completed or not completed? Completed. Wow, that's very good. So that means you score 4 out of 6 of the sustainability initiative. Very good. How about you?
For the 3, does that mean like working in a diversity environment?
Yes, diversity environment, correct. Whether you have Malay or Indian colleague.
Then I think I did like 1, 3, and 5, 6 for school project.
Oh, okay. So that means you also achieved 4 out of 6. Wow, very good. How about you?
I myself 1, 3, 6.
Already completed. Good. How about you?
4, 5, 6 only.
Oh, okay. Also not bad. 3 out of 6. How about you? Sudah buat. Okay, bagus juga. Kamu? 1, 4, 6. Okay. So we can see that most of you score 3 out of 6. Only 2 of you score 4 out of 6. But actually it's considered good because at least it's not below 3. So it's very good. Alright, without further ado, I will introduce about sustainability. So, do anyone know what is sustainability? Can one of you explain what is the meaning? Hi, Desmond. Have a seat. Yeah, sure. Okay. So basically, just now we just started the session and had some ice breaking. And for now, I will officially start the course. Yeah. So anyone know what is sustainability?
Can tahan.
Can tahan, really? Any thoughts? Any other thoughts? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
Can survive.
Okay.
Whatever we can.
All right. Okay. That is part of it, but it's not entirely correct. Sustainability basically means that we have to meet the expectation of the current generation in order not to have the further generation to be sacrificed. Karena sekarang ni itu cuaca sangat panas kan, kami sudah boleh rasa. So kalau kami mau itu alam sekitar lebih bagus lagi, kami kena kasih itu alam sekitar lebih environment friendly. So itu future generation dia tak akan struggle sangat. So do you understand the meaning of sustainability already? Great. Alright, now we have the first activity. So can you tell me what is environmental, what is social, and what is governance? You have 3 minutes for this exercise. Yeah, you can think first, then later I will ask some people to share.
Can it be 1 item? Can it be 2?
So basically, each category, like the environmental, can be a few items.
It can be sustaining and also governance, right? Let's say pollution and resources.
No, actually each item it will classify into certain category.
Cannot be two category then.
Cannot.
Huh? Okay.
Only one. But actually, when you see the word, it's quite obvious. It's like normally it refer to one category.
If you dwell into deep, into depth, it could be interrelated also, right?
Yeah, it can be interrelated, but it's like specifically, normally they will categorize in one category. So for now, anyone can share me like which item belongs to environmental. Maybe I can ask you.
Pollution and resources
And what else?
for
Yeah, for this activity, beside pollution and resources, what else belongs to the environmental category?
the environment category.
Yes.
The E is it?
Yes, the E.
Pollution, resources, and water security.
So yeah, there are two of them.
Climate change.
Yes, correct. Yes. Okay. For the social side, can you share with me which item belongs to the social category? Yes.
Customer responsibility.
Yes, correct. Community, yeah, community, yes. Governance, not really so actually, but I will explain why is that so later. Which one also can be governance? Oh, labor standard, not really for governance actually.
Social?
Yes, correct. Never mind, I can explain later. Yeah. Okay, so can you tell me which item belongs to governance?
Risk management,
Yes, correct.
great governance,
Yes,
tax transparency,
yes.
anti-corruption,
Yeah, you are correct. You get all correct. Very good. So I will explain a bit.
So she got 100 marks.
Huh?
She got 100% marks.
Yes, correct. Okay, so basically, right, the environment, just now you mentioned three of them. Actually, biodiversity also belongs to the environmental category. So basically, right, the specific indicator of the environmental category, I will explain in the next slide because I will specifically talk about what is environmental, what is social, and what is governance. And then for the social side, you partly correct. You mentioned about the human rights and community and customer responsibility. And maybe you wonder why this labor standard belongs to social instead of governance. Because labor is about the people. Social basically relates to the people. So that's why labor standard belongs to that social category. And then for the health and safety, because that one also relates to the people, health and safety when the time they work in like the site visit, for example. So that's why this also belongs to the social category. For the governance, basically anti-corruption, corporate governance, risk management, tax transparency, all of them, yeah, belongs to the governance category. And then maybe you wonder, why have this ESG? Because this ESG is for the company to further develop the environmental, social, and governance strategy. And then from there, they can determine the target. And from there, they also can specify by when they have to achieve this health and safety protocol or like climate change, for example. So until here, do you understand what is ESG? Great. So we can see that sustainability and ESG are interconnected. Kelestarian dan ESG berkaitan antara satu sama lain. Kenapa? Kami perlu itu keuangan, perlu itu bisnes dapat survive. So earlier, some of you actually shared that sustainability requires the business survival, right? So basically, yeah, economy definitely come into factor. But at the same time, we also need to care about the environmental, social, and governance in order for the company to take their part in terms of social responsibility. And indirectly, when all companies join force together, then we will help our country, Malaysia, to do something good for the community and the society as well. So basically, you can see that sustainability and ESG are related to each other. Alright, so now we have the second activity. Can you name me some of the sustainable development goals atau matlamat pembangunan lestari? Itu SDG dari United Nations. Do you have any idea? Like which sustainable development goals like forming this, how to say, target together? Because basically, right, I just give you a tips. This sustainable development goals is developed by United Nations, and there are 17 goals together. So what elements do you think there is available for the 17 sustainable development goals? You can just mention through the... Yes, correct. Any thoughts? How about you?
Climate change.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Carbon neutralization.
Not really.
No idea.
Okay, it's okay. I can let you all know what is sustainable development goals. Okay, so just now I mentioned sustainable development goals developed by United Nations, and there are 17 sustainable development goals. First is no poverty, second, zero hunger, third is good health and well-being, fourth is quality education, fifth is gender equality, sixth is clean water and sanitation, seven is about the clean energy like the solar and also the wind, 8 is about decent work and economic growth, 9 is about industry innovation and infrastructure, 10 is about reduced inequality, 11 is sustainable city and community, 12 is responsible consumption and production, 13 is about climate change, 14 is about life below water, 15 is life on land, 16 is peace, justice and strong institution, 17 is partnership for the goals. So basically, right, these 17 goals are very important because if we don't have the first 16 goals, then we cannot achieve the 17th goal as well, because the 17th goal is like we not only need the government, private sector, NGO come together, but we also need to make sure they have the common issue to solve, like let's say poverty or education or like climate change. So these are some of the areas that they can be solved. So until here, do you have any question regarding the SDG? Okay. So for now, I also will demonstrate a case study about how you link the ESG and the SDG together. Because just now you see some of the environmental indicator, right? Like water, clean energy, and responsible consumption and production. Basically, they are part of the environment indicator. Then for the economic growth, gender equality, and reduced inequality, these are part of the social strategy. And then finally, the peace, justice, and strong institution, that means have strong governance and no anti-corruption. And then partnership for the goals. This actually belongs to the governance category. And then, okay. Gender equality. Okay.
Does it include LGBTs community or not?
This one, for the United Nations, they not really mention about this, but they mention about gender balance, and then also like equal, like have different race and religion in the organization.
But they haven't included LGBT
Yeah.
Q
Yeah.
community yet.
Yeah, not really actually. So basically the gender equality, you can look into the gender and the racial balance. And then why I use Unilever as the case study? Because Unilever basically they already cover the environmental, social and governance strategy, whereby your company also can think of your sustainable strategy in these three aspects. Because oftentimes, I believe your company have the idea in terms of employee management, which is the S side, and also like the governance side, the anti-corruption, but maybe you not really have idea how to do the environmental strategy better, right? So basically, right, it's simple. So for the environmental strategy, you can think about water, and then energy, and then also how you generate the waste and how you recycle the waste. So you can think of these few angles. And for Unilever, basically they emphasize about clean water, and they also emphasize about clean energy, which is solar energy, and they also will recycle the items. So for example, because Unilever, they have a lot of household items like shampoo, and then sometimes some of the food packaging, and they will utilize this packaging to recycle again so that they can replicate and make the product. They will use same waste to generate the new product. So that means they do not need to use extra material to produce the product. So this is the example. And for the social side, basically, they will ensure that the workers will have good pay and also good working environment. That means they have the work-life balance. And they also emphasize about gender and racial balance. And they also will bridge the gap in between developed and developing country, whereby when the time they have some establishment in developing country like Malaysia, for example, then Unilever from the developed country, they will assist Unilever in Malaysia, for example, to do some social program. So it can be like community engagement, and then beach clean out also can be the example. For the governance side, Unilever emphasize about anti-corruption, and they also emphasize about different partnerships. So that means partnership in between government, civil society, businesses, in order to solve the pressing issues in the society. So until here, do you have a clearer picture like how to link the environmental strategy with the SDG together? Okay? Okay?
Continue.
All right, thank you. All right, so for you to understand why should we care about sustainability, mengapa kita perlu peduli tentang kelestarian, kamu boleh tengok video ini.
Most scientists agree that an increase in just 0.4 more degrees will drastically change the world.
The world are dealing with record extreme heat.
Storms have been causing deadly flooding.
You could have mass melting of ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica. If we don't act immediately, scientists say the consequences will be catastrophic.
3 degrees of warming is really disastrous. We're dealing with unprecedented heat waves and drought.
Day-to-day, 3 back in time, undo what we've done, and start over. I say what if, because that is simply impossible. As the world moves forward at an unprecedented pace, we need to find ways to keep up with change and with time. For the past 4.5 billion years, planet Earth has been thriving, growing, and constantly evolving. And while we've only been around for thousands of years, some of what we've done is irreparable. Now, our planet needs our help, and we're running out of time. In today's rapidly warming world, the climate crisis won't wait for anyone. That's where you come in. You, the decision makers, the game changers, the forward thinkers, the first responders, you who make things happen and get things moving. You can help give the Earth a fighting chance. And the time to do so is right now. There's no extra time.
This is your chance to step up. To turn plans to action and put our future back on the right track.
Thank you for watching the video. So I would like to, saya mau tanya kamu, apa kamu belajari dari video ini?
Belajar tentang pencemaran udara.
Ya, betul.
Itulah.
Okay. So what do you learn from this video?
You have to act now.
Good. How about you?
You have to do something on it.
Very good. So at least you'll catch the point, like what do you learn from this video? So this slide we can see that if we do not prioritize sustainability, we will encounter numerous environmental risks in the next 10 years. So you can see from the picture, it's like forest fire, melting ice, and then polar bear also have to stay on the land. So there is a lot of things that can be happen. So if we don't take our part, we will face the serious consequences in the future. So for now, I will introduce about environmental strategy. So for now, we will have another activity again. So can you guess from the icon here, which represent which for this, environmental indicator? So like for example, the first light bulb, what do you think it is? Maybe if you have idea, you can tell me what this icon represent for the light bulb. Yes, correct. How about this? The second one? Yes, correct. How about the, how to say? The right side, top right.
Environment.
Not environment. It's waste. You are correct. Sorry?
Waste.
Yes, correct. How about this one? The final one with the boxes? Recycle, not really. Any other thoughts? Okay, I know the top right and the bottom right is a bit similar, right? So the top right basically is waste, correct? But the bottom right basically is regarding material. Yes. So material also belongs to the environmental category. Until here, all clear? Okay. All right. So can you continue to guess what is the icon for the top left? Yes.
Global warming.
Not global warming. Greenhouse gas emission, correct. How about this? The
Deforestation.
yes, correct. How about the how to say the top right?
Wildlife endanger.
Yeah, wildlife, quite near, but not that correct. Yes, correct. Yes, you can see from there. You have some tips. How about the bottom right? Yes. Not environment. Pollution. Yeah, pollution is the keyword. So basically, you can see that there are 8 indicators for the environmental category. So let me have another activity. Do you know what comprises for the National Energy Transition Roadmap? That means like what kind of energy that comprise under National Energy Transition Roadmap? Do you know any of them? Maybe you can start from the type of renewable energy that you know of.
Solar.
Yes. Yes. Biomass, correct? Yes.
Biogas.
Biogas, yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Nuclear energy, no, it's not part of it.
No. All right. Some of you guess some energy correctly. So basically, there are 6 of them. Pertama sekali, hydrogen. Kedua, kecekapan tenaga. Ketiga, tenaga boleh diperbaharui. Keempat, pengangkapan, penggunaan dan penyimpanan karbon. Kelima, bioenergy. Keenam, mobility hijau. So I will dive into some of the energy concept further, so you have some understanding what is renewable energy, green mobility, for instance. Okay, so now we will explore about renewable energy. Just now we mentioned a bit about solar energy, and then next one is wind energy, and then also hydropower. So what will be the difference? Solar energy, it generates from the sunlight. Normally, the technology that you will see is either solar panel or solar thermal system. Basically, if you want to understand more about solar energy, you can go to the exhibition downstairs. There is Terra exhibition booth there. And what is the usage of solar energy? It's for electricity generation, heating, and lighting purpose. For the wind energy, basically it comes from the wind, but wind is not that common in Malaysia. Normally it's solar because we always have the sunlight.
Why is it the wind energy is not common in Malaysia?
Because we also need to see the speed of the wind and also the frequency of it.
So it's not suitable for wind energy in Malaysia.
Yes, correct.
Because we have, we have 2 monsoonal season, which is northeast and southwest.
Yes. Yes, correct.
Not consistent. Yeah.
Yes, not consistent. But just for your knowledge, wind energy is about the wind turbine, onshore and offshore, and normally is used for electricity generation for residential, commercial, and industrial use. And the third one is about the hydropower. It's about the flowing water, and then normally you use that to generate the electricity and water management. And the type of technology that you will see for hydropower basically is about hydroelectric power plant and also tidal power system. So these are the renewable energy type. Do you have some understanding what is the difference? Okay. So next, I will explain a bit about biomass energy, geothermal energy, and ocean energy. So biomass energy, normally it will generate from the wood, agriculture waste, and biofuel. And then the technology that you normally see is biomass power plant and anaerobic digestion. What is the application? It will be for heating, electricity generation, and biofuel production. For the geothermal energy, normally it comes from the heat from the beneath the Earth's surface, and the technology that normally you will see is the geothermal power plant and heat pumps. And the application is for heating, electricity generation. Basically, this geothermal energy, right, it also mentioned in the Sabah energy roadmap, whereby Tawau is very suitable for geothermal energy.
What happened to this Tawau green energy? The company tried to develop the geothermal and then it stopped. Why is that? It was in the Rangku Antarasi area.
I see.
Yeah, what happened?
I think
It's a mismanagement, short of fund.
yes, actually, yeah, one of them is mismanagement, one of them is short of funds, and third maybe is about the infrastructure. It's like whether they have the infrastructure to support. That is another factor.
I mean, they were saying that it's proven that the underground heat energy is enough to boil the water, to create a steam to heat the turbine generator, generate the heat. Why is it stopped? Because environment also?
I think environment can be another factor as well. Yes. So another energy is about ocean energy. So the source will be from ocean wave and thermal gradient. And the technology that you normally see for the ocean energy is about wave energy converter, tidal barrage, ocean thermal energy conversion. And the application normally is for electricity generation and coastal protection. Basically, this ocean energy, right, is also related to the blue economy, because blue economy is about the marine and aquaculture as well. Alright, sekarang ni kami ada aktiviti baru lagi. Apakah perbezaan antara hidrogen kelabu, biru dan hijau? Kamu boleh teka dari gambar ini. Anyone can guess what is the difference?
Gray hydrogen is basically a dirty energy.
Yeah.
Right? So blue hydrogen basically you use a cleaner than a gray energy.
Mm-hmm.
So green energy basically is renewable and environmental friendly energy source. That's all I can say.
Okay, very good. You have a good understanding in terms of hydrogen. So let me further review the answer. So grey hydrogen is about produced from natural gas but without carbon capture. Blue hydrogen is produced from natural gas but also supported by carbon capture and storage. Later I will explain a bit what is carbon capture and storage. And then for the green hydrogen, basically is to power electrolyzer that split water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen so you can generate cleaner energy. Saya pun simpan itu Malay translation di sini. So kamu boleh bezakan apakah hidrogen kelabu, biru dan juga hijau. Boleh faham? Okay, so what is carbon capture, utilization and storage, CCUS? I actually received this picture from Petronas, and basically they explained that firstly, you need to capture first. So that means you need to remove CO2 from the sources like natural gas field, refinery, factories and power plant. And then afterwards, you will transport the CO2 to store through the pipeline, ship and the trucks. And thirdly, you will store the CO2 and then afterwards, once you store in the underground, then you can further utilize the remaining amount of CO2 and then you make it you can use that for the enhanced oil recovery. So these are the steps for the CCUS. Until here, do you understand this diagram, or is it a bit confused?
What does it mean? They have a third leg enhanced oil recovery. How do they pump in the CO2 to the underground where if you, how should I put it, inflate the oil, you can extract more oil from the underground or what?
So basically, right, what they mentioned is that they will store the CO2 underground first. Then afterwards, they will use that to, how to say, let the oil process to be more cleaner. Because normally, if let's say, right, if you involve in the oil and gas industry, normally the oil will leak into the ocean. But if let's say you have this CCUS technology, at least you can reduce the amount of CO2 and you also can reduce the leakage as well. Yes. Any other question for this? Okay. So, in short, what is the benefit of using RE source? Apakah manfaat untuk menggunakan sumber tenaga terbaharu? Pertama sekali, kamu boleh menggunakan sumber dengan lebih cepat, sekaligus mendorong inovasi. Kedua, kamu boleh mengurangkan kos. Dan ketiga, kamu boleh mengurangkan pelepasan karbon. So itu alam sekitar lebih environmentally friendly sikit. Okay, I hope you all have a better understanding in terms of renewable energy. So the next concept I would like to share is about circular economy, which is ekonomi kitaran. Apakah perbezaan antara ekonomi linear, ekonomi kita semula dan juga ekonomi kitaran? Ekonomi linear kan biasanya kami ambil, lepas kami buatkan itu produk, lepas tu kami gunakan itu produk, dan lepas guna habis kami akan buang itu sisa. So itu ialah linear economy. Keduanya, dia punya proses lebih kurang sama, tapi kamu bukan buang sebagai sisa, kamu akan recycle itu sisa. Kalau itu ekonomi kitaran kan, dia bukan hanya recycle saja, dia juga boleh repair itu produk, dan dia boleh reuse itu produk, dan akhirnya dia boleh return sebagai produk baru. So itu perbezaannya. So you can see from this process, circular economy is not about recycling only, but it can be enhanced in every stage of the value chain. So you can see that normally it starts from the raw material, then afterwards you will recycle the necessary material, then you will design the product, then you will produce the product, and then afterwards you will further distribute the product, and then for the second final stage you will use the product, and then afterwards you will collect the waste, and then you will recycle again. So you can see that there is a few cycle for this circular economy. Until here, do you all understand about circular economy? Okay. So basically, why we need to do waste management? Because we can reduce waste, disposal costs, and also input, and we also can further improve the environmental performance, whereby we will have less pollution. And finally, we can enhance the business reputation. Because we recycle the product, right? That means we always use the sustainable material to produce. And actually, you can give better impression to the employee, and also your investor, and even your customer as well. Okay, just now, I explained about renewable energy and circular economy, and now I would like you to know further about deforestation. You can watch this video first, and afterwards I will ask you what you learned from this video.
Our planet's forests are some of the most valuable resources we have. They provide us with clean air, a source of food, construction material, and much more. Even more importantly, forests are a major line of defense against climate change. A single tree can absorb as much as 48 pounds of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere each year, which makes them the most effective CO2 scrubbing machines we have. Despite this, forests are being systematically eliminated all across the world. A process we know as deforestation. Each year, 15 billion trees are lost to deforestation and forest degradation. That's 36 football fields worth of trees and accelerating. At this rate, the world's rainforests may be completely gone within 100 years. This makes deforestation responsible for around 13% of the world's carbon emissions, making it a major driver of climate change. Not only do we need trees to absorb our carbon, when they're removed, much of the carbon is stored in trees. Rapidly growing agriculture is responsible for the vast majority of deforestation. Global demand for food, especially meat, forces millions of acres of forest to be cleared for cattle, soybean plantations, and palm oil production. Timber and fuel extraction, as well as wildfires, rapid partial destruction of forests, known as degradation. All of this is driven by our relentless economic expansion and population growth, both set to continue increasing dramatically. While harvesting timber is necessary for our economy, unrestrained deforestation can lead to the disruption of weather patterns and collapse of entire ecosystems, threatening our safety and other resources we depend on. So what's the solution? Can we stop this seeming unstoppable force? The short answer, yes, but it will take some work. Research has shown that it is possible to decouple economic growth from deforestation by reconfiguring our supply chains and adopting sustainable land use policies. Thanks to the efforts of activists, policymakers, and businesses around the world, deforestation is actually slowing down in some regions. Finally, reforestation and afforestation efforts are growing worldwide. One Tree Planted works with partners all across the globe to restore damaged forests and plant new ones. You can become a part of these efforts by volunteering to plant trees in your area or supporting these initiatives abroad.
Okay, what do you learn from this video?
What did I learn? What do I learn?
Yes.
Don't destroy the forest.
Mm.
The other thing is, government should not issue any more logging licenses to company to log the forest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but our state government is still issuing logging management contract agreement, which we shouldn't do, right?
Yes.
So that's the thing. But conflict and economy is a different matter.
Yeah. Agree with your point of view. How about you?
Please go green. Just go green.
Go green.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? What did you learn from this video?
That the tree absorbs 48 pounds of carbon every year.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. So now we will look into the ways how we can solve this deforestation problem. So basically, this is what I got from the Sun Daily. There are some professional who give some opinion that you need to expand in terms of reforestation effort, and you also need to promote wildlife habitat and genetic exchange, and finally to have more protected conservation area. But if you want to have more protected conservation area, you definitely need to have the political will from the federal and the state government, because if not, it will not be possible to happen as well. So I definitely agree with what Desmond said just now. And next, we will talk about the social strategy. I hope you all understand about environmental strategy. So now I will dive into this further. Alright, we will have the next activity again. So can you tell me, from these 5 icons, can you guess what are they? Like, for the first icon with the one that hold the hammer, what is the social indicator? Can you guess? Or you can guess from others. Like this one, maybe it's a bit easier. The bottom left. Yeah, something about gender, but not really about gender. Professional, sort of. Workers. Ah, yes, it's about workers, correct. Any further thoughts? Labels, yeah.
The top one is value.
Not.
Friendship. Family value, right? Isn't it?
Not really. It's okay. I will let you know. Oh, what is that? Okay. So for this one, it's about the occupational health and safety. And for the one, the top left is about human rights and labor practice. Then the middle one is about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because you can see there are some disability in the icon.
What is the category of inclusion?
Inclusion, that's basically is like inclusive, not only those normal employee, but also can include the disability as well.
OKU.
Yeah, OKU, correct. And then next one is correct. It's about employee management. And finally, it's about community engagement. Yep. Okay, so for you to further understand about human rights, you can watch this video.
Human rights. What are human rights? Human rights are the fundamental freedoms and protections that belong to every single one of us, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, religion, or beliefs. Rights are about being treated and treating others fairly, and ensuring everyone can make choices about their own lives. They're about justice, freedom, and equality.
Here's a quick breakdown of your rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that all humans are born free and equal in dignity and in rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of kinship, which means that no matter who you are, the very fact that you're a human being grants you these rights. Your life is your life, and it cannot be unjustly taken from you just because some people don't like you, and that is regardless of what nationality you are, cultural background, religion, or political views. You may not be forced into slavery, and you're not required to follow any social obligations, constraints, or restrictions others might feel you have due to your race, sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation. You have the right to start a family and own property, and nobody can say that you can't. If you become sick, you have the right to healthcare. You also have the right to education and any other necessary social services, such as disability care, for example. No person or entity can ever take these rights away from you. If your government infringes on any of these rights, you have the right to seek asylum and refuge in another nation. At work, you have the right to fair working conditions, fair and equal pay, and the right to join and form trade unions to protect your interests. You also have the right to rest and leisure, including holidays. If you have a run-in with the law, you may not be subjected to any cruel or unusual punishment, and you can only be punished before first being proven guilty in a court of law. If you feel a law is unjust, you have the right to protest, making phone calls, writing to your leaders, or by peacefully taking it to the streets. These rights are there to protect you and your loved ones. They also exist to protect your neighbours, your friends, your rivals, and even people whose opinions or lifestyles you don't agree with. These are some of your human rights, yours and everyone else's. Together, we can protect them. When we do, all our lives are better, and we create a better world for everyone.
Alright. Apa kamu belajar dari video ini? Oh, okay. What do you learn from this human rights video? Not sure. Anyone, do you have any thoughts about what did you learn from the human rights video? Yeah, sure.
Every human being standing on the planet Earth have the right to live decently. So probably everyone have to be a saint to be able to comply with all the conditions being laid out, right? Isn't it? You got people killing each other, then you got country Israel and Hamas people killing each other, right?
Yes.
Or about what? So country to country have a different standard. So developed nation, they already develop and they care about environment, care about the social and governance. For the lesser unfortunate country, developing country, even in Malaysia, okay? You got people, you got category of people, you have 40% of the people below the poverty line, right? They just bottom 40%.
Yes.
So for them to achieve the perfect human right, long way to go.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Do you have any other thoughts about this video? Okay, thank you for participation. So the benefit of human rights basically is to improve the reputation with the investor and business partner, and also it will be attract more employees to work in your company, and also it can help to increase customer loyalty. So basically these are the benefits. And then what is equality, diversity and inclusion? So it's regardless of race, ability or preference. Apakah manfaat untuk diversify itu company? adalah keberbagian bakat dan kemahiran dan juga boleh naikkan kepuasan bekerja dan juga boleh explore itu area yang belum diterokai dari syarikat dan juga akan menawarkan pertukaran pendapatan yang lebih baik kalau kamu ada diversity di sesebuah syarikat. So you can see that Grab has the example whereby they have almost equal representation between male and the female, and then they also have almost 36% of women in the leadership, and then they also have equal pay between the male and female, and then they also trend in the safe workplace as well. So this is just the example. For the occupational health and safety, basically it's about the health and safety and the welfare of the employee in the workforce, and basically it can be covered in few areas. So first is about the risk management and management. It's like how you mitigate the necessary risks in the workplace. Second is about the training and education. Third is about the safety protocol and the procedure. Fourth is about the health monitoring. Fifth is about emergency preparedness, like when the time you have the fire, chemical spill, or natural disaster, how you deal with it. And finally, is about the compliance with regulation. That means to adhere the national and international law and standard regarding the health and safety, not only within the company. Until here, do you have understanding in terms of social strategy? Or is there anything you need to clarify? Oh, good. Okay. So, the benefit of occupational health and safety is that you can enhance employee well-being and productivity, also can have economic saving and efficiency, and also you can further comply the law and also uplift your company reputation. And the last part of the sustainable business strategy is about governance. So for the governance, we will have another activity again. So based on what you see from this icon, can you guess what are the examples of the governance indicator? I think the top left will be a bit easy, right? Because it's very common to many companies whereby you have board of directors. I already gave the tips. Or you can guess from another icon as well. I think the top right also easy.
Zero tolerance to corruption.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Or right to it.
Yes, correct. Any other thoughts beside corruption? ABC, yeah, also part of it. SOP, yes, correct. Privacy, yes, correct. So I think governance indicator is more common to all of you, because basically you can indicate some of the indicators correctly. First one basically is about governance structure. It's about the number of directors and the board governance structure. Second is about anti-corruption, correct? Third is about the risk management and reporting. So basically, the year of audited financial statement and the list of risk of company operation, it belongs to part of it. And yeah, customer privacy is part of it as well. And finally, yeah, the ABC policy, yes, is part of the policy commitment.
So which KPI is that one? Company KPI.
Company KPI
KPI.
can be part of the policy commitment.
Customer privacy.
Customer privacy, that one I will explain in the next slide. Okay, first I will explain about whistleblower policy. What is the meaning? It's to encourage employee to report wrongdoing within the company and also protect those who report unethical or illegal activities from retaliation. So the reporting channel, it can be through hotline to inform your top management or specific email address or designated individual within the organization. And then oftentimes this whistleblower policy will have certain protection whereby when the time you report to the top management, your another colleague will not know this incident. Normally what you will report, it can be violation of law, regulation, company policy, or ethical code. And investigation process also will mention like how this concern will be investigated, and it will ensure a fair and detailed process to be followed. So you can see that the benefit of whistleblower policy is to deter wrongdoing and to further improve the compliance and also to strengthen the reputation. For anti-corruption policy, I believe it's very common to your company, whereby it's about bribery, facilitation payment, conflict of interest, and wrong use of the company fund. Basically, this is about corruption policy. The benefit of anti-corruption policy is you can have better reputation and also strong internal control and mitigation. And finally is to reduce the operational cost from leakage. Until here, do you have a better understanding in terms of anti-corruption and whistleblower policy? Okay, great. Okay, for customer privacy, basically it's about protection and control of information that identify individual customer. And basically it can be about your email address, name, purchase history, browsing behavior, and even financial information. So why we need to have this customer privacy? Because company can build trust with the customer and also to protect the customer from exposing sensitive information. And finally is to comply with the regulation. So I hope that answers your question, Desmond. So you can see that Grab, actually they have some example in terms of data privacy, like notification and obtaining consent, protection and safe custody of personal data, retaining personal data for no longer than necessary, and also transparency. And basically, this data privacy, right, it can be part of your sustainability report. And the sustainability report later I will illustrate further, like what you can include.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Let's say Meta, right? Facebook. So your Facebook, you input your Facebook. Then you can share with the IG,
Yeah.
Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So whether that is, how should I say, whether it is allowed or whether it's covered under the government or not?
So basically for the Meta side, right, it can be depends on the company governance. And they can also refer to the country governance as well, because like Meta, they have present in many countries, right? So normally the company, they not only will have their own privacy policy, but they also will refer to the national policy in order to ensure that they comply with necessary regulation.
Okay.
Yes. Any other question? Okay. All right, so this slide is about sustainability governance. So the sustainability governance, right, you can see from the middle here, it clearly mentioned that there are a few levels of governance. So the bottom one is about working level committee. Then the third one is about management level committee. And then afterwards is about board level committee. And normally the board of directors, the top one, they will able to make necessary decision in terms of governance. So why we need to have this transparency in terms of governance? Because it can help to manage risks and also further develop sustainability strategy, and also to state some goals, and you link certain KPI to the ESG target. So basically this is the framework that you can refer to for the governance. So basically I extract this sustainability governance structure from the Bursa Malaysia Sustainability Reporting Guide. Basically you can see that not only you have respective business function like HR, accounting, or maybe like manufacturing or production, and also it can comprise of the Sustainability Management Committee, Chief Sustainability Officer, and then CEO as well, and even you have the Board Sustainability Committee and the Board of Directors. But normally, right, this one is for the public listed company, is for the bigger company, whereby you have at least 300 to 400 staff. But if let's say your company is very small, maybe like 10 to 50, right? Normally, if you have this board and also the board level committee, that will be okay already. Because for the working level committee, right, normally you need at least 10 people in that committee, and it's more suitable for the bigger company. Okay, so bear with me a little bit more before we have the break. I just want to explain a bit in terms of the ways to measure and report the sustainability performance. What is sustainability reporting? Is to further measure and also disclose, and also being accountable to your internal and even your external stakeholder. What is internal and what is external stakeholder? Internal means within your company, board of directors and the staff. External means it's about your customer, supplier, bank, etc. Yes. So you can see that there are certain steps that you can do the sustainability reporting. So basically, right, it can be about your business activity. Then your business activity, you need to link your sustainable development goals into the reporting. And then you will have the sustainability report, which I will further explain how you do the sustainability report. Then afterwards, you can show that you are responsible in terms of sustainability after you publish the sustainability report. So maybe you ask, why we need to do sustainability report? Because of the global and also the national agenda, and also because of the regulation. The regulation I will mention further later. And then also about the stakeholder expectation, like what I mentioned in my previous slide, is from the internal expectation and also external expectation as well. And investor basically is one of the external stakeholder that demand for ESG information. So that's why sustainability become very important. Alright, before I explain about materiality, do you all have understanding about sustainability reporting? The definition? Okay. So, for the materiality is about to determine like what kind of the sustainability topic that you have to prioritize. Because just now we mentioned some of the environmental strategy, social strategy, and the governance strategy, but sometimes there are too many things that company need to do, because company not only have to care about economy, but they also have to see what they can really do about sustainability. So for this, my suggestion will be, if let's say your company yet to do any sustainability related strategy, like anything about environmental, social, and governance, then you can just choose a few of them to start doing first. And this one, we will explore during an activity later. So you actually have the chance to further identify what are the strategies that your company can start doing first. Then you will be able to plan further. So basically, these are just some of the definition about the materiality, but I will not explain too much for this slide. I just want to let you know that not all matter in sustainability are equally important to you. Bukan semua isu kelestarian adalah penting, kerana biasanya kami ada banyak strategi mau tengok kan, kamu mau fikir about ekonomi dan fikir about social juga. So kalau kamu baru mula itu journey kelestarian, right, kamu boleh fikir satu atau dua strategi bagi setiap kategori. So kamu tak akan tertekan sangat, kamu tak akan stres sangat. So basically, right, I just show you about the materiality assessment process. Basically, like what I explained to you just now, the first step is that definitely you have some environmental, social, and the governance strategy that you plan to do, but there are so many of them. But you can actually do the second step, whereby you can choose 1 to 2 strategy for each category first, so you will not feel overburdened. Then the third one, you can do the prioritization through the maturity matrix, which I will explain in the next slide. Then afterwards, you can review whether is it suitable to your outcome. And then after you've done this maturity assessment, you can always do again. So like every year, you can just review once, then you will see that whether you want to revise your current sustainability strategy. Alright, so basically this maturity matrix, right, you can see that for the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, that one is about the significance of the organization's sustainability impact. And then for the y-axis, it's about the influence on the stakeholder. But this one, maybe you wonder how you plot each of the sustainability topic into this matrix. I will explain in the next slide. Okay, so this one basically is just to show you a sample from Inson Holding. They normally will just identify some of the sustainability topic, then they will have further stakeholder engagement with internal and external stakeholder. Then afterwards, they will further prioritize the issue. And don't worry, I will teach you materiality matrix soon. Then you will validate the finding. So basically, right, once you done the materiality matrix, you will need to get approval from the board and senior management, so that this materiality matrix can be published in your company's sustainability report. Until here, do you have any question?
My question is, when you talk about this, I do not think our group here sitting here, or even a large organization,
Okay.
I don't think they have entered this out materiality assessment yet.
Yeah,
Right?
I understand.
Because it for us, it's pretty abstract at this moment.
Understand.
We are up to the stage yet, yeah.
Yeah,
So
understand.
That my understanding.
Understand. But actually, from what I understand is that if you don't have this one, don't worry. You can just identify some of the sustainability strategy that you want to do first. Then only you come to this stage. Yeah. Do you have any other opinion in terms of this? Like, do you have any question? Okay, great. Alright, so this one is just to show you the example, like how Inson plot the maturity matrix. So basically they categorize based on the environmental with the green icon, and the social side is about the light blue icon, and then the governance is about the dark blue icon. So basically you also can see from another company example whereby the board of director and management, they identify some of the topics they want to care about. So it can be about governance strategy, social strategy, and environmental strategy under the maturity topic. And then they will mention like how they report this. But this one, I think for now, don't need to worry that, because for now, I think the most important thing for today is just to list some of the material topic. That means some of the sustainability topic that you really want to focus on in your company. Then it's really good enough for today. Okay, so for maturity matrix index, right? It's like you basically you can determine based on your environmental topic and your social topic and your governance topic. Okay, so for example, if let's say you think that the emission management is very important to the stakeholder to know, like not only your company but also for your supplier and customer, then you can put the rating a bit higher, like 8 out of 10. Then if let's say you feel that is quite important for the business, then you also can put like 7 or 8, something like that. Then you will get the total score of 15. And then if let's say for example the labor practice and standard, you think that it's not so important for the stakeholder, it's only like important for the company, not really for the customer or supplier, then you can put it at 6. But if you think that the labor practice and standard will give like adverse impact for the business, then you can put it as 8. It's like a bit more important. And for the governance side, integrity and anti-corruption, basically you can, how to say, you can put that as quite important to stakeholder and businesses. If let's say your companies really care about anti-corruption, then you will get like the total score of 18, something like this. So after you total out the score, right, then you can see that you can plot something like this. Okay, so maybe you can be a bit confused here, right? But but okay, let me slowly guide you through. So for example, right, okay, you just know, okay, you don't need to care about the red and the green one, you just care about the blue one. So if let's say your company feel that this environmental strategy is very important, but it's not that important to the stakeholder. So that's why you can see that this blue icon is like company score higher, but stakeholder perspective score lower. So this is like how you plot the diagram based on the scoring itself. Okay, but actually, right, for this activity, I think we no need to care about the materiality assessment. That one, I think I will share you after the session. I can share you this slide after the session so you can actually further practice how to do the materiality assessment. But today, I think most important thing is that each of you, I believe you have different company, right? So maybe you can list down what is one particular environmental strategy that you want to do, and what is one particular social strategy that you want to do, and what is one particular governance strategy that you want to do. So this one is 10 minutes, so it's simple. You just think of one environmental strategy and one social strategy and then one governance strategy. And these three strategy, right, need to relate to your industry. Like for example, like your industry is relate to plantation, right? Yeah, so you can relate to plantation. Kamu punya industry ialah engineering, right? So kamu boleh relate kepada engineering. Your industry also plantation, right? NGO, yeah, can also actually. Can. Yeah, you can think from the chamber perspective. If you want to think from your association perspective, can as well. And if you want to think about vision-wide perspective, can as well. Yes, audit firm perspective. Yeah. Your industry, sorry? Plantation. Okay, yeah. You can think from the plantation perspective as well. Yours also plantation, right? Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can try to think from the warehouse or retail perspective. Then later, each of you will let me know like what are the environmental, social, and governance strategy that you can think of at the moment for your company. Sorry? Example of the environmental, social, or governance, right?
Yeah, that we can use for this.
Okay. So, okay. I think for the environment, right, just give you some example. It can be about climate change, about energy, and about waste, something like this. Climate change, you can refer to the GHG emission. This is one of the example. And then social, it can be like human rights, and also employee, and also occupational health and safety. And then third one, governance, you can think of anti-corruption, and also customer privacy, and also board diversity. And then when the time you choose one strategy for each category, right? One environmental, one social, and one governance strategy. You need to tell me why you want to do this particular strategy first. Yeah. Okay. Boleh faham? Tak boleh? Apa yang tak faham?
Macam mana kalau engineering?
Engineering ah? Engineering kamu boleh fikir dari itu construction waste. Social boleh fikir pasal itu occupational health and safety. Kalau itu apa? Construction industry bagi governance mungkin buat diversity atau anti corruption. Kamu boleh fikirlah. Boleh faham?
Dari US tu macam mana kalau engineering?
Okay, engineering kamu boleh fikir satu strategi yang sesuai dengan engineering. Macam satu
Engineering dengan hardware dia begitu.
Hardware. Hardware.
Kedai engineering dengan hardware bukan kilang.
Oh, bukan kilang.
Bukan.
Hardware.
Barang.
Oh, jual barang saja.
Iya.
Jual. Okay. Jual barang.
Kami jual barang hardware, barang kilang, barang plantation, tidak termasuk dengan kilang-kilang ni.
Oh.
Kami plantation pun bukan, kami hanya jual barang.
Oh, itu barang kamu boleh fikir itu barang boleh dia kita semula atau tak boleh?
Tidak boleh.
So kamu boleh.
Biasanya kami yang ada kotak-kotak sialah itu sih yang boleh kita semula. Kalau macam ada barang sampai guna kotak kan, itu sih yang boleh kita semula.
Okay, so kamu boleh fikir selain kotak ada lain punya bahan boleh recycle kah atau tidak? Okay, okay.
Kalau sebab kami kan hanya kedai yang jual barang siap, barang part-part, part-part hardware, part workshop. Itulah ialah kami tidak ada berkaitan dengan ini.
Oh.
Ada sosial pun kurang.
Okay. Tapi sosial boleh fikir pasal itu employee, itu bekerja. Bekerja di kedai.
Itu memang semua ikut law lah.
Okay.
Ikut law macam APF, sosial semua ikut begitu saja.
Tapi itu bekerja dia selalunya dia boleh tinggal di pekerjaan lama atau dia tinggal mungkin beberapa bulan dan dia terus jalan. Karena mungkin kamu ada rakan sekerja kan dia kerja beberapa bulan dia jalan. Tidak juga. Dia akan tinggal beberapa tahun.
Tidak ada.
Oh, tidak ada.
Tidak,
semua okey.
Oh. Itu dah susah mau bandingkan apa-apa. Misalkan hanya kedai yang bukan plantation, bukan kilang.
Oh, faham.
Itulah kadang-kadang saya tak faham apa.
Oh, faham. Faham. Tapi itu employee karena kamu cakap mereka dia boleh tinggal lama dan tahan lama. Okeylah. Maksudnya itu syarikat memang bagus.
Ya. Sebab kami bekerja semua yang lama-lama punya sudah.
Oh, faham.
So, macam dia punya macam majikan okeylah. Sosial kami tidak ada kira bangsa. So, kami ada Melayu juga di China. India yang ada.
Oh, faham.
Itulah susah mau ambil tension dengan apa ni?
Oh, tak apa. Kamu boleh fikir pasal itu bahan. Bahan itu barang yang jual di kedai. Selain itu kotak, apa lain punya bahan yang kamu boleh kita semua?
Macam satu saja. Selalu yang kita semula itu sih.
Oh, okey.
Itulah susah mau data yang mana satu mau ambil yang untuk sosial tu untuk apa? Macam kalau kilang kan dia banyak.
Oh, faham.
Kami kurang lah kalau kotak-kotak saja. Setahu saya lah.
Okey.
Saya hanya datang dengar ingat ingat untuk pekerja punya. Untuk pekerja dalam company sahaja.
Tapi biasanya kalau itu bank kan saya akan kasih itu beserta fikir pasal syarikat mereka juga. Ya, tapi dari sini kamu pun boleh belajar sedikit. Lepas tu kamu kasih tahu kamu punya bos apa strategi yang kamu boleh apply di syarikat kamu loh. Lebih bagus sudah kan? Okay.
Is it time for tea break?
Soon.
Because
Very soon.
a lot of us is having afternoon slump.
Yeah, I know. Soon. But to be honest, this course today, normally I will conduct 2 days, but because the time limit, so I try to compress the material, and I hope so far you can understand the necessary concept. Sorry? Okay, still okay. Okay. So all of you managed to identify your strategy, or you still need some more time? Okay. How about you? Are you okay? Or do you need more time? Okay. The rest okay? Okay. All right. So basically, right? Maybe can start from you.
What's that? Yeah.
What is the one environmental, one social, and one governance strategy you want to do?
If I deviate away from, say, from agriculture practice, yeah, there's a lot of people here are agriculture
Understand?
practitioners.
Understand?
So I'm looking at my own profession. Yeah.
Okay.
Property consultancy. Okay.
Okay.
So my environmental would be is whether that property or the building is care of the environment.
Okay.
Whether the building can be considered as a green, green building.
Okay.
There's one. I think they have some set up policy for green energy, green building. So yeah, say, is it energy efficient property? Yeah.
Okay.
So they use less using renewable energy. Let's say maybe the rooftop is fitted with solar power. Yeah, part of it.
Okay.
And also whether because tropical country is you have to be cool, yeah, right? So whether they have using, the apparatus like aircon, whether it's safe environment, so is it whether it's energy efficient aircon. These are things we consider, yeah. But not up to the practice yet.
Okay.
For us, we wanted to consider that as a for property to sell or construction of building. Yeah.
Great.
So that is my social. That second is about social. Whether the company, the relationship between employee and employer, relationship. Yeah. Work ethics is part of it, and also the you treat every one of your employees in a fair manner. Yeah. Thirdly is about governance. Whether the company, the business being conducted according to rule or practice, either the company MOP, manual procedure, policy laid out, company rules and regulations, or even the law governing our practice.
Okay. Very good. You have very good understanding in terms of what you want to do. Next, can you share what you think that your company need to do in order to advocate in terms of sustainable strategy? HCV, okay, good.
The new center shop supposed to be started in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
After 2 years, we still haven't got any idea.
Okay.
Timeline.
I see.
So this will impact our communication,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the foreign side.
Mm-hmm.
Because the law in India have a boundary with Bhutan, Sabah.
Mm-hmm.
To the west is Tawau.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be an impact to us.
Balong side. How about the social side?
Mostly is a legalization of foreign workers.
Okay. How?
The state government has an initiative by Smart Sabah, but for SMEs, Sabah Workers Integration Management System.
Okay.
Still really unclear of it.
So, what do you think that the better integration management system has to be look like?
State government
Means state government need to interfere in order to make the program more effective, right? Oh, okay. How about the governance side?
The integration management system is a company policy or the government GLC company or state government? For GLC,
also for the private sector.
so it's a state what industrial development department to that, yeah.
This one is under the target one.
Okay. How about the governance side?
Government side, we have the ABC policy written.
Okay.
But it's not yet implemented. Still waiting probably next year.
Oh, probably next year only can implement. Okay. But actually, at least have some planning that next year need to be introduced. Thank you for sharing. Next, can I have Vision White to share? Okay. Okay. Now you work in office every day, is it? Okay. How about social side? Okay.
For now, I think we only have Chinese speakers, and the amount of guys and girls is also very unbalanced.
Oh, understand. Okay. How about the what is that? Governance, yeah.
This one I'm not so sure, but perhaps from the example that you gave just now, maybe the customer privacy might be somewhat debatable because we have a lot of clients and their details.
Understand. So the details have to ensure that it's confidential. Okay. Great. Next, can I have you to share?
Yeah, for us, environmental-wise, what we can do is more on the energy side, like changing our vehicles and forklift to the battery operator. Instead of diesel. For social, we can look at the occupational health and safety of the workers because they are general labor, they do a lot of lifting and doing the loading and unloading of the staff.
Okay.
For the governance, probably the whistleblower policy. So, just to detail if there's any phishing activities.
Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing. So, do you have additional thoughts to add? Okay. Ada? How about you? Oh, don't have as well. Okay. Thank you everyone for sharing what are the environmental, social and governance strategy that you want to specify. So basically you can see that from IKEA perspective, once they prioritize what they want to do in environmental, social and governance, they actually can better prioritize what they really need to do. So for example, they can focus more on health and also circular economy and also fair and equal treatment to the employees. So this is a good example. And then maybe you ask, what is double maturity? So double maturity, right, basically is about company and also society. And the relationship can be in two ways. So that means first relation is how company influence to the environment and the social indicator. And the second side of maturity is about how the environment and the social strategy can influence to the company. So I will show you in the next example so it's easier to understand. So you can see that for the orange arrow, you can see that how the company water usage affect the local water resources. So if let's say the company use a lot of water, that means the local water resources will be lesser. And then you can see from the blue arrow, there is another perspective whereby you can see that how the water scarcity can impact to the organization operation. This one basically, right, can relate to Tawau here, whereby sometimes there is no water, no electricity, so it will affect your company operation. That means your company cannot run smoothly. So basically, this is the concept about double materiality. Can you understand about double materiality? Great. Okay, this one is just a term. Basically, maturity assessment, just now I mentioned, is for you to further identify the important sustainability topic. But for the maturity assessment is to see like how ready are you to adopt sustainability journey. Because sometimes some company may take half a year or 1 year to embark, but some company may take at least 3 years to embark. So this is so-called maturity. Okay, so basically, right, disclosure basically is just to mention what kind of information that you can disclose in the sustainability report. This is just a simple term. And when the time you do the sustainability report, right, normally you will use some sustainability standard and also the framework to put in the report. But this one I will further explain during the session later. And then before we go to the break, can you let me know whether your company has started to do sustainability reporting? No. No. Nationwide? No.
Not up to that stage yet.
No. Diadakan? Okay. So that means everyone don't have experience in sustainability reporting. So basically, this activity already done. This one basically is just to show you the specific environmental indicator that commonly used by the companies. But this one I can share after the session so you can look through by your own. And the social and governance strategy as well, you can look through by your own. So when the time you want to further strategize your environmental or social and governance strategy, right, you can refer to here and you can see that, oh, if let's say like many companies, they already mentioned about the employee wage paid, then you also can refer to this index and then you can review in your company as well. So basically this graph is just for your reference, but it's up to your company what kind of sustainable strategy that you want to do first. That is the priority. Okay, I think this one I can go through later because none of you have done sustainability report. So for now, you can enjoy your 15-minute break until 3:48. Okay?
Thank you. This is the best hack.
Okay. The connection basically already back. So basically you can see that the second one is about the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure Framework, and the third one is the Carbon Disclosure Project. I will let you know in further detail. So for the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure, basically you just disclose like what is related in terms of the climate change. I can give you some example. So basically you can indicate about the climate risk and opportunity. And then secondly, you can also mention what are your strategy in the short, medium and long term. And then also what is your risk management process, like how you identify, assess and manage your climate risk. And then lastly, it's like you will disclose about the Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emission. So the Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emission is about carbon accounting. Actually, there is another trainer called Aaron Lau. He conducted this course today. But today, I will just briefly describe what is Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emissions, so at least you have some idea. Okay, so basically the Scope 1 to 3 emission, right, is from the Greenhouse Gas Protocol. So I will let you see the video, then you will understand what is Scope 1, Scope 2 and Scope 3 emission.
All emissions during a product's life cycle matter for life on Earth. The Greenhouse Gas Protocol has developed an internationally recognized standard for greenhouse gas accounting based on scopes. Dividing your emissions into the 3 scopes helps you find the best way to reduce your emissions. The first scope is emissions from activities and sources owned or controlled by you, also called direct emissions. This can be burning fuel in an on-site boiler or running vehicles on site. Scope 1 focuses on emissions created directly by operations within the company. This means that you are in control and can act directly to reduce your GHG emissions. To calculate Scope 1, you first need to define the organizational and operational boundaries of your company. Scope 2 includes GHG emissions from the electricity that you consume. The actual emissions occur when the electricity is generated, but the user of the electricity will be accountable for the emissions. You can reduce emissions by lowering your overall energy consumption or choosing electricity from fossil-free or renewable sources. Scope 3 is the largest scope, encompassing all indirect emissions from sources not owned or controlled by you, like the production of purchased goods or services, transportation of products, employees commuting, and much more. Scope 3 is divided into 2 subgroups, upstream and downstream. Scope 3 upstream means all emissions that occur before your production. Scope 3 downstream is all emissions that occur after the product leaves the gates of your company. Although Scope 3 is the most difficult to influence, you can still make a big dent in these emissions through systematic review of your supply chain and choices of transport solutions.
Alright, so do you have better understanding what is Scope 1 to 3 emission? Yes. So maybe one of you, can you explain what is scope 1 emission?
Gas emission due to the operating activities.
Yes, correct. How about scope 2? Anyone?
Your use of energy,
Yes.
right? You use your energy from outside, the energy, the power provider.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Whether it's the energy is from a fossil fuel or clean, that harmful to environment, or using renewable energy.
Very good. How about scope 3? Yes, very good. So basically from the video you can easily understand what is the difference between scope 1 to scope 3 emission. Okay, so basically, right, what I want to show you is greenhouse gas. There are several types of gas. One is carbon dioxide, one is methane, one is nitrous dioxide, and another type of gas as well. But carbon dioxide consists most of them under the greenhouse gas emission. And then just now what you mentioned is correct. Scope 1 is the direct emission within your company or your factory. Scope 2 is about your energy, electricity. Scope 3 is somewhere outside, like the upstream and the downstream activity. So what upstream activity comprises under scope 3? So upstream activities, right, they are like lease asset, employee commuting, purchase goods and services, business travel, waste, food and energy, transport and distribution, and capital goods. And then for the downstream, right, you have transport, process of sold product, use of sold product, lease facility, investment, franchise, and end-of-life treatment. And then, actually, if you never review what kind of emission that you already emitted from your company, right, you no need to care about scope 3 emission. You just care about scope 1, what carbon emission that you produce from your company, and scope 2 emission, what kind of energy and electricity that you use in your company. That is very good already. Scope 3 comes later. Yeah. So, how you calculate your scope 1 emission? Normally, they use the activity data times the emission factor equals to the GHG emission. And basically, right, the scope 1 to scope 3 emission, you can use the carbon accounting software to calculate. And basically, what I know from one of the SME association is that they are planning to provide SME free carbon accounting software to use. So basically, if let's say in the near future you want to calculate your scope 1 and 2 emission, you no need to worry because you will be able to enjoy the accounting software.
If I use ChatGPT, can I get the data?
Not accurate.
Huh?
Not accurate.
Then where and up can I?
You need to use the carbon accounting software, and when I know the carbon accounting software is free to use, then I will update.
ChatGPT is like you ask them everything, they will give you everything.
Not everything. Not everything is accurate.
It's cost me $20 per month.
Can be based on different industry. Like can be based on construction, plantation, agriculture as well.
What are the commonly used software now?
There is a lot actually in the market.
Yeah. You download it. They have an app, so you use the app, then they can do the calculation for you. You need to download their program.
You need to install the software, then you only can calculate. Yeah, need to key in the data also.
Do they use the apps or program?
actually a program.
Not in the apps, not in
Not the mobile app. You need to access from your desktop. Not really Excel format. Basically, this carbon accounting software, right, is like GHG calculation. Okay, if you want to use Excel to calculate, yes, but not too accurate.
So, so it's just a user-friendly program, that.
Yes.
Depend on the. I'm in the oil palm plantation. That way, they will give you a category. Then, is something like that.
Yes.
Program,
yeah, something like this, correct. You have any question just now? Oh, I thought you have question. For now, I mean the one that free to use one, that one is not available in the market. But once it's reviewed in the market, then I can update.
Because it's just not, he suggests that can use ChatGPT, right? Maybe you can compare like the same set of data and then see what's the result.
But I think ChatGPT is like, in terms of creating the proposal is good, but in terms of specific calculation, maybe not so. Yeah. Yes.
If you come later,
yes. Yes. Okay. So at least you have some understanding about carbon accounting. And basically, right, for scope 1 emission, what you can do to reduce the scope 1 emission is that you can replace the fossil fuel into with like bio energy related fuel, or basically you can change your vehicle into electric vehicle. So this is the strategy. And scope 2, same thing. You also use the activity data times the emission factor equals to the GHG emission. But this one is about the electricity calculation. And for scope 2, right, normally you can replace the existing source of electricity source to the renewable energy, like the solar panel, for instance, to generate electricity. Okay, just now I mentioned calculate scope 1 and 2 emission is the starting point, but to reduce the greenhouse gas emission is the next step. So basically what I recommend for the SME is that you can just care about scope 1 to 2 emission first, and then scope 3 is considered as advanced stage already. So you can see that Grab, they have several levels to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. First is to remove the carbon. Second is to have sustainable business and tech practice. Third is to have renewable energy. And then fourth is to transition to low emission vehicle. Sorry, just now actually suppose that need to start from the low emission vehicle first. Then you only come to the final stage of carbon avoidance and removal.
So this way, how long would it take for Grab? Grab is established about 4 years ago, is it? 4 years
I
ago,
think at least
Grab,
seven.
So they bought over the Uber from Malaysia operation and Singapore. So now probably in 100 hailer, they probably they use almost 100, which is fossil fuel vehicles. Yeah? So to transform that into, say, I want to, for the next 10 years, I'm going to reduce 50% of EV instead of using that. So in Malaysia's perspective is because it's all money matters, right? So you don't expect your e-hailer driver to change your vehicle. So you're going to take them when they talk about it's very nice for them to wear their policy roadmap, we call it roadmap for the next 10 years.
Yes.
And practically to implement them is a different question.
Yeah, understand. Yeah, because sometimes they review that they want to do that in their sustainability report, right? But in reality, they didn't achieve.
Yeah.
So sometimes.
So whether this is sort of beautify your report to the investor,
Yes.
rather than practically they ask a question when come to the AGM.
Yes.
Or the CEO would not be able to answer anyway this question.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Proposed by the investor.
Yes, correct. But I mean, for Tawau here, right? I think we no need to be so ambitious to review all this strategy, but we can do 2 things. Let me find the marker is here. Okay. So the first thing, you just review your sustainability policy. Like what you do for environment, social, and governance. And you can refer to the case study from Sawit Kinabalu, which I will illustrate in the slide later, and also Taekwon Group of Companies. And second step, for you to embark in your sustainability journey, you just need to review your scope 1 and 2 emission. That is very simple. So it's not that difficult for you to achieve sustainability journey. Okay, just now I mentioned there are some carbon accounting software for you to use. One of them actually is from the MGTC Low Carbon Operating System. For now, their annual subscription fee is 5,000. And there is another software called Pantas. Pantas, they also review how to calculate the scope 1 to 3 and show you the data. But this software, as what I understand from the market, is even more expensive than NGTC. I think at least 10K.
But when you say the software,
Yeah.
so people subscribe and download it. It is for system can be used in maybe for so many computer terminal or so many subsidiary company, or just one company, apply one company.
Actually can be used from many companies. So that means like if there is more companies subscribe this particular carbon accounting software, that means this carbon accounting software is quite popular in the market.
You mean let's say I have 20 companies. I have one, then I have other subsidiary company.
Yeah.
Can I just buy one only?
Actually, yeah, you can choose to buy one.
Company have to buy each of it. They send them A, send them B, send them is under my company.
I think buy one.
Or buy each company have to buy one.
I think buy one enough and buy the one that is suitable to your company. Yes. All right, just to briefly go through, carbon disclosure project is also one of the climate disclosure reporting framework that you can apply. But actually for now, this carbon disclosure project, or just now what I shared, the TCFD, this tool is just like the reference. But what most important that you need to do is just to review your scope 1 to 2 emission. That is good enough. Yes. All right. So now I share some of the global sustainability reporting standard. There are several of them. One is Global Reporting Initiative. Second is the IFRS S1 and IFRS S2. Third one is the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board. And then fourth one is about the European Sustainability Reporting Standard. So for the Global Reporting Initiative, GRI, this is very commonly used by the public listed company and even some of the SME as well. But for now, if you're not really doing sustainability report, basically this one also can come a bit later. Later, I will recommend you a local sustainability reporting framework that you can use first, and you can come up with a simple sustainability report already. So this one is just the adoption level for Malaysia. Basically, Malaysia, they are like 61% of the company, but I think this is for public listed company. They are using GRI, just to show you the data. I think this one I can skip because this is not that important. And then this IFRS S1 and S2, right? Basically, this one is mentioned in the National Sustainability Reporting Framework. But this one, right, actually also not that important for the small, medium enterprises, only applicable to those small, medium enterprises that have 300 to 400 employees. So basically, this one, just to share with you, this is just some of the sustainability related disclosure that the bigger companies that need to follow through. So basically, IFRS S1 is about the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure, which I just shared earlier, is about the climate-related risks and opportunities, and it's about Scope 1 to 3 emission. And then for the IFRS S2 is about, it's also related to TCFD, but this one is like, they have industry-specific disclosure. That means you have to relate to your industry, like plantation or agriculture, for instance. And the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, basically this one also relate to the industry, but this Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, it covers like 77 industry. That means it's more specific disclosure that you can use, but this one also not compulsory for the SME at the moment. And then this European Sustainability Reporting Standard, this one actually is like, if let's say your company have relationship with Europe, then this standard is more important. But if let's say your company only trade locally, then this not really matter.
If let's say a company, like
Yeah.
you are a company, actually you're doing let's say a sales dealer.
Yeah.
A dealer like maybe Mercedes-Benz,
Okay.
or any industrial machinery. Yeah. So would that company, the local dealer, need to aware that this their supplier, the vendor supplier might request say you need to do this.
If let's say they deal with the overseas supplier and it's from Europe, they have to care about this. But if let's say they only deal with the local supplier, then only deal with the local one, local regulation. Yes. But this one is just for your own knowledge. Okay, this is what I really want to introduce to you. So basically, right, the third one that you can do in order for you to produce simple sustainability reporting is to refer to this SEDG, this Simplified ESG Disclosure Guide for SME in Supply Chain. Basically, it covers 5 sectors: energy, transport and logistics, construction and real estate, agriculture, and manufacturing. I understand maybe some of you are from plantation, but actually you also can use some of the indicators from agriculture as well. Because agriculture is about waste, plantation is also about that. So something that can refer to. And basically this only launched last year, and there are 35 disclosure you can start from the basic disclosure first, then afterwards you only go for the intermediate and advanced level. And this SCDG it not cover the adoption of sustainability, assessment and mitigation of risk, and also identification of business opportunity. So the reason why SME should adopt SEDG is to have the global competitiveness and also to respond to different stakeholders like the customer, investor, bank and regulator. And finally is to qualify for the incentive provided to the companies with enhanced ESG disclosure. So basically, yeah, these are some of the benefits. Until here, do you understand what is SEDG?
The one just now, you say ABG, point 1, point 2, point 3, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Qualifies for incentive for companies
Mm-hmm.
with enhanced ESG disclosure.
Yeah.
So to qualify for incentive, right, you hire him.
Yeah.
This is qualified incentive, that means from the government?
Yes.
Authority,
Yes.
you can get, if you have report this, you get maybe tax break
Mm.
or subsidy or whatever.
Yeah.
Or subsidy for industry development authority or something like that.
Yes, correct. Later I will explain further in terms of.
Come to later,
Yes.
The government have this sort of announcement in the budget.
Yes, I will explain a little bit more in terms of the tax incentive and the government grants. Okay, basically just to show you that this SCDG, they follow some of the local and the international standard. Local is like Bursa Malaysia, international is like GRI, FTSE for Good, and ISSB. So basically, you can use the middle template to refer to. So the middle template is like later you can download from the website about the SEDG guide. Then you can tick which one you already applied. But this one comes later. And just to show you, there are many companies already adopt SCDG. Normally you can see it's like big companies or NGO or investor, etc., right? But don't worry, the small companies also can do that. Yeah, just now as what you asked, it's like whether the NGO can do ESG. Can. There are many associations doing that. Yeah. Okay. This is basically about manufacturing sector, but I don't think there is any one of you from the manufacturing, right? So I can skip this part. Okay, this is just to show you the National Sustainability Reporting Framework. But as what I mentioned, this is only applicable to the listed company and also the non-listed company. That means like the big size of SME, they have like 300 to 400 employees. So this is not that important. But just to show you, actually, beside this SEDG, right? Your company also can have some ISO compliance. ISO is just one of the quality management standard. So the ISO, right, is very simple. Basically, right, you can do in terms of the environment, and then also about the social, like the occupational health and safety is very simple for your company to comply. And then finally, the anti-bribery also can actually. It's not that difficult. So these are some of the ISO standards that you can consider. Yeah. And you also can use the local standard, local quality standard, which is SIRIM. So SIRIM, right, it can be about the ESG system. And also it can relate to your reporting. So until here, are you clear about the SIRIM and the ISO standard? Malaysia, yes. Can start from SIRIM first, actually. Yeah, not that deep.
Maybe you know about your SIRIM usually they see a sticker on the manufacturing goods, right? So this is standard. Everybody say, I want to buy a product which is SIRIM. Just like
yeah, normally it's for product. So if let's say reporting wise, it can be applicable to any sector. But if let's say in terms of quality wise, yeah, normally it's referred to the product. Yeah.
Your oil palm produced on your plantation doesn't need a SIRIM, right?
Oil palm needs MSPO. Huh?
MSPO is a MS 2520.
Yes.
MS.
Or if you have a MSPO cert, right?
Yes. Alright, so the certification part, right? Actually, I will mention about MSPO a little bit. But before I mention about MSPO, I would like to show you this video. Alright, what do you learn from the video?
Well, no matter what, especially for manufacturing sectors, they say they start now, yeah, in future, all the operator of industrialists are hoping that with that, then they can sell their product better, accepted by consumer overseas, and also try to get a lot of incentive from government. From trade, from MIDA, whatever, right? Industry development or authorities. That's all, right? Money matter.
Okay, thanks for sharing. How about you? How about you?
Like if they don't start now, then they'll be left behind. So yeah, they're calling everyone to start small, start now, do your part.
Great. How about both of you?
Same thought.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. So basically, right, you can see that the certification, it can be about eco-labelling scheme, like to have eco-friendly packaging. This one is introduced by SIRIM. And then also have the My Hijau mark, that one was mentioned in the video. So basically is to meet a specific environmental standard to produce the green product. And next one, I think some of you will be familiar, is the MSPO, because if let's say you don't have this MSPO, Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil, then you will face penalty, and also you will have less competitiveness as well. And just now, I know one of you mentioned about the green building. Yeah, green building, basically, you can refer to Green Building Index. Is one of them that recognize the building to be green.
This Green Building Index,
I'm
paying particular attention to this one. This Green Building Index is by a private company or by a government?
By the private architecture association. Basically, Malaysia have two. One of them is Green Building Index, and is like formed by this architecture association. And then there is another one. And then there is another one called Green RE. That one is created by Malaysia Real Estate and Housing Developer Association. Yes.
So what are the ways, the government will come say, recognition of these two certifications, right? So are they both acceptable to the government?
Okay, both of them are acceptable, but for this Green Building Index, right, it's very common in other countries as well. But this Green RE, right, is established from Malaysia itself, and normally the Malaysia building will be green certified by this Green RE. But some of the building in Malaysia, they certified by Green Building Index also. So depends on which developer they prefer which kind of index.
So both can be used.
Can be used.
So this is a benchmark set in Malaysia about Green Building Index, basically.
Yes, correct. All right. I think this is something that you are interested, right? Like the grant and the tax incentive and the bank initiative for SMEs. All right. So there are some of the incentives that are available. First is the Green Technology Tax Incentive. Second is the Low Carbon Transition Facility. Third one is Greening Value Chain Program. Fourth is High Tech and Green Facility. Fifth one is about the Credit Guarantee. Sixth is about Green Technology Financial Scheme. And then 7 is Domestic Investment Accelerator Fund ESG Adoption by MIDA. Then lastly is the Market Development Grant by MATRED. So I will introduce each of them in detail. So the green technology, right, is normally about the solar renewable source, and then you can actually refer to here. So it's about renewable energy, energy efficiency, green building, green data center, and integrated waste management. But what will be more related to the plantation, I think will be the waste management, and renewable energy can be considered as well. So basically you can see that, right, they have also some incentive for the green hydrogen, integrated waste management, and also renewable energy as well. So the renewable energy, you can see that there is solar, biomass, biogas, small hydro, wind energy, and geothermal. So it's quite a wide range that you can apply.
For this one here, so it's not like a pioneering status. It's not like say, okay, I'll give you this, only 70% of your income, right?
Understand?
So if I earn 1,700,000, which is tax exempted, yeah?
Yeah, tax exempted.
Up to 5 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's not like a pioneering status, you can have a 10 years.
No, it's like it's limited in certain period of time. Yeah, because the government want to encourage you to adopt first. Then afterwards, once your operating costs lower, then you have the ability to cover by your own. Yeah, but I mean, at least it's something that the government can provide when the time you adopt ESG for the first few years.
Yeah, I was particularly interested. It's just on your previous slide.
Okay.
Geothermal, which is
Yeah.
not covered by Europe.
Mm.
The only places that at the moment the government recognized is by the geological department is Tawau.
Yeah, correct.
But it was disappointingly, the project didn't take off.
Yeah, understand.
So why is that? So the government should have put more money into that project.
Yes, but just now as what we discussed, it can be funding issue, it can be environment, it can be infrastructure. So yeah, politics evolve. Alright, so this one, right, this one is just specifically for the solar. So the solar depends on the capacity that you apply. If let's say your capacity is not that much, then the incentive period will be 5 years. But if let's say you have a large solar farm that you want to develop, then you can have the incentive period for over 10 years. So next one will be the low carbon transition facility. So basically Bank Negara, they do provide some incentive for the SME to do like the sustainability certification and also sustainable material and improve the energy efficiency of building and applicants and also on-site renewable energy generation equipment.
So the low carbon transition facility, means the fund, soft loan or whatever, given to company who wish to sort of change their energy consumption from fossil fuel to solar or whatever.
Yes.
So that they apply the cost of transition, is it? Let's say it cost me XX million to use clean energy or renewable energy. So that is the amount of loan that the Bank Negara is going to give to the company.
Yes. So basically, right, Bank Negara already listed some details that 1 billion allocation is from the Bank Negara, but another 1 billion is from the participating financial institutions. So it depends on which bank they participate, then you can apply from both banks. And basically it's like this low carbon transition facilities is up to 10 years, and each SME maximum they have 10 million to finance, and this financing rate is 5% per annum, inclusive of the guarantee fee. And basically, this fund already available since 2 years ago.
5% per annum, that's cheap. Interest of 5% is not that cheap. A fund for gold is 3.75%.
Okay, so Bank Negara also have greening value chain program. So basically, SME have access to the technical training and the tools to measure and report the GHG emission. And basically, the cost of training and tools, it can be borne by the financial. And next, there is the high-tech and green facility. So if let's say your SME is doing like digital tech, green tech, and biotech, then you can apply this facility as well. And the financing rate is up to 3.5% per annum. That one is without guarantee, or up to 5% per annum, inclusive of the guarantee fee. And the eligible sector, it can be manufacturing, services, and those who involve like the green tech, like the renewable energy, clean transportation, agri-tech, biotechnology, digital, and for IT technology. So the next one I would like to share is the portfolio guarantee scheme. Basically, this offer more financing for the SME to adopt ESG. And MGTC basically is like, it involves like 6 sectors, like energy, manufacturing, transport, building, waste, and water. And it provides 60 to 80% of government guarantee on the green component cost, financed by participating financial institution, as well as rebate of 1.5% per annum on interest or profit rate. So basically, I think for your side, probably the waste and water, as well as the energy sector will be more applicable. So you can see that basically, it can be about the solar project, or it can be about energy efficiency, and also green building construction, and the electric vehicle charging infrastructure. And then the next one I would like to introduce is MIDA. MIDA, they have the Domestic Investment Accelerator Fund, which is in terms of ESG adoption. So basically, they give the opportunity for the small and medium enterprises in the manufacturing and some of the selected service sector, like the logistic sector, to transition into ESG practices. And then their funding is either 50-50 or 70-30 sharing basis. And the maximum reimbursed amount is 500K per company. Yeah. And lastly is Matrix. Matrix, they also have the market development grant, and basically is to promote the Malaysia-made product or services. And basically the lifetime limit for this grant is around 300K, and it's suitable for the SMEs, Chamber of Commerce, Trade and Industry Association, professional bodies as well.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so you can look into that.
One time of for 100 days
So basically you can see that government has a lot of tax incentive and grant available. And then also the financial institution, they also provide a lot of incentive as well, and they will increase the funding as well for the ESG initiative. But what I want to mention is sometimes if let's say you want to get the bank to approve your funding in order to fund your ESG initiative, you also need to look into 5C. So it can be the borrower history and background, and also the market economic situation, owner investment into the business, ability to repay the loan, and also available asset to back the loan, and also about the climate change and ESG aspect. That means they want to make sure that these loan proceeds are not used to harm the environment. And these are some of the checklists when the time you submit the application to the bank. So it can be a copy of all director, shareholder, partner, IC or passport, and also the allocation of share, certificate of incorporation, audited and management account, debtor and creditor aging list, and also 6 months bank statement. And also you need to mention like your details of what you done for the sustainability, so you only can apply the loan.
This one here.
Yes.
You know this document.
Yeah.
Is there a consultant company that you have the company to apply with the payment of service fee? Are there any company in Malaysia?
Actually, for now, I only have the network from the JC3 SME focus group. So if let's say you want to understand further detail on how to apply the loan, then perhaps can link up. Yeah. But they are the ones who come up with this document checklist. So basically, what I want to share is SME financing is an ongoing journey. But if let's say you can fully utilize some of the initiative from the government and from the bank, then from there actually it can help you to adopt ESG further. So until here, do you have any question for this part? Okay. Alright, so it comes to almost the second last part of the session today. So this is about the case study and also the action planning. So the case study, right, just now actually I mentioned about Sawit Kinabalu. So Sawit Kinabalu, right, when the time you check their website, they actually listed some of the environmental, social and governance strategy. And environmental, basically they mention about the environmental management policy, whereby want to have more efficient use of resources, and also to prioritize energy efficiency, reduction of greenhouse gas emission, and also the protection of biodiversity. And then for the land policy is that they want to ensure that this palm oil plantation not conflict with other people's right, and then also avoid planting the palm oil on fragile land, and also to protect the high value ecological areas, and also to promote sustainable land use and management practice. And then for the social side, basically Sawit Kinabalu emphasized about equal opportunity employment and freedom of association policy, and then also about the human rights policy. That means I want to have fair treatment of the workers and safeguard the rights of women and children, for instance. And lastly, it's about the governance policy. It's about the whistleblower policy and the transparency policy. So whistleblower policy actually is like I mentioned in the earlier slides. So basically just something that the company that can refer. And then transparency basically is like to ensure that the annual report, management policy, and then organizational structure information is being reviewed in the company website. Case study 2 is about Taekwondo. So Taekwondo, right, they have the no deforestation, no peat policy and environmental policy. So the first no deforestation, no peat policy, that means that they emphasize about high conservation value area and high carbon stock forest and also zero burning policy. And environment is basically about to comply and related regulation and link to the environmental impact, and then also emphasize about waste management, energy efficiency, and greenhouse gas reduction initiative. For the social side, Taekwondo emphasize about occupational safety and health policy, and also no exploitation policy, that means no forced labor, no child labor. And lastly is about whistleblower policy as well. And this whistleblower policy, they also emphasize about the illegal activities, corruption, and violation of company policy. And last but not least, beside the local case study, I also want to show you about the national case study. So the national case study that you can refer to basically is about Saint Darby Plantation. So Saint Darby, right, they have some policy. First is the no deforestation and peatland protection. They emphasize about high conservation value and high carbon stock forests, and also greenhouse gas reduction. That means they will use the RSP or pump GHG calculator to measure and reduce greenhouse gas emission, and also mention about zero burning policy. Biodiversity and conservation is about to protect the wildlife and maintain ecological balance. And then lastly is about the waste and the water management. That means to emphasize about reduce, reuse, and recycle approach. So until here, do you have like better understanding like how you can list your sustainability policy in your company? Okay? Okay. So for the social side, right, Saint Darby actually done in terms of fair labor practices and also community engagement and support. That means they do some educational initiative, healthcare support, and economic empowerment project for local communities. Third one is the occupational safety and health. That means they will do regular risk assessment in order to ensure the worker work in safety condition. And then governments, that means they have the transparency and reporting. That means they have sustainability report. They emphasize about like how they do their sustainable development goals and how they comply with certain standards like the Global Reporting Initiative. And they also emphasize about whistleblower protection and also about the governance structure. The governance structure, as what you learned earlier, that the sustainability governance, you have the pyramid structure and you can clearly indicate the responsibility. So basically, right, this is just to show you how Saint Darby do the materiality assessment. So they put some of the environmental, like the green one, such as climate change and energy management, fire and haze in the diagram. And then they also put the human rights and fair labor practices, health and safety into the diagram too. And then like the product quality and safety, which is number 6, they also put in the diagram as well.
This is applied to their company.
Yes, correct.
Irrespective of area of practice, right?
Yes, correct.
It's applied to Malaysia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, or even Africa.
Yeah, correct. So basically this one just to show you that under the sustainability report, normally they will specify like what kind of sustainability reporting standard they use, and then what are the specific they put under this report. So For example, if let's say they use the global reporting initiative, right, then they will specify like they will put some of the activities or governance structure and then like policy commitment, etc. But for now, just need to follow the SEDG. That is good enough. Yeah. So you can see that basically, SINDABI, they listed what are the things they already done for climate change, biodiversity, fire and haze, and also what they already done for health and safety, human rights, community rights, diversity and inclusion, and supply chain. So this is just some of the reference, but actually you no need to put that detail like what are the specific target and what are the specific progress that you already done. But what you need to do is just to list some of your sustainability policy. So these are just further example like how they show in terms of their product quality and safety, customer privacy, corporate governance, and also the operation efficiency. And this is just to show you the example of their sustainability governance structure. So they have the main board, good managing director, chief sustainability officer, and sustainability committee, and they will specify like what kind of role they play in each specific position. Okay, now I check the time. Okay, this one, right, I think we can skip this part because I understand all of you, you're not really doing sustainability reporting, and also you just started your basic sustainability journey. So what you can do is, you can just download this SEDG framework. Then from there you can tick the box like what you already done for your company. So I just show you some example. So basically it's like you can see when the time you download this PDF, right, what kind of environmental indicator that you already done, for example emission, whether you already reached the basic or whether you haven't reached the basic yet. So this is just to show you like what are the indicators that SEDG already listed. So it can be scope 1 to 3 emission, it can be about energy, it can be about water, it can be about waste, it can be about materials, and then for the social side, it can be about human rights and labor practice, which we go through in the earlier slide. And then also about the employee management, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then also about occupational health and safety, community engagement. And for the governance side, basically cover the governance structure, policy commitment, so like the code of conduct, anti-corruption, etc. is covered there. And then also like the risk management and reporting, anti-corruption, customer privacy. And then after you done this SEDG, you can just put some of the information like your company name, date of disclosure, disclosure period, and your location, what kind of entities included, and what is the location. Then you can produce simple sustainability report already. So this one just to show you some of the referencing, like what kind of the environmental indicator that you can include in your business. So like the emission management, energy management, water and waste, and then labor practice, safety and health, employee benefit, corporate social responsibility, and also about the culture and commitment under the governance pillar, integrity and anti-corruption, risk governance and internal control, and also the board of director, management, business continuity, that one also can be part of it, and the data protection. Yeah, so basically these are the information that I will share to you, so don't worry. So in the end, right, I just want to ask, what do you think is the push factor for Malaysia SME to pursue sustainability? Maybe you can give your opinion.
Force fitting.
Force
feeding.
Oh, okay. Regulation.
Supposed to be the tax incentive, but we didn't really talk about tax.
Tax incentive, is that? Oh,
You will be much based about the grants, but there's nothing about the tax.
oh, the tax, that means you want to understand in more detail, right?
Yeah, tax exemptions.
That one, the specific information I also can pass to you after the session. Yeah.
Just for us, we can't really produce a full set of all these ESG things.
But more interested in terms of like when the time you do ESG initiative, then you can apply certain tax incentive, right? Okay, that one I can follow up after the training.
Okay.
Yes, no problem. Any thoughts? How about you? Yeah, what are the push factors for Malaysia SME to pursue sustainability?
I think mainly it's still the government, like when they put the law or something, then they have no choice, then they have to.
Oh, okay. But actually,
It's very realistic. Exactly. So
This is false or it gives them some sweets.
the carrot and stick dangling there. That's it. Yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, it's a cost to really do all this.
oh, you mean it's like,
Corporate
okay.
consider ESG.
Oh,
Cost to really
really doing that, is it? Understand.
the team
To
all the documentation.
Understand. But actually, as a starting point, I think you just need to do this sustainability policy and review in your company website. Then it's good enough. Yeah, just the first step first. Then the next step actually is like for today, this training is just like an awareness. It's like at least you understand what is ESG strategy, what is ESG reporting, and what are the tax incentive. And then if, let's say after this training, you have interest to apply some tax incentive or the grant, then that can be the next step for the implementation already. Yes.
I think that the biggest achievement in terms of plantation industry is MPOB actually has successfully have done for all initially starting from they wanted to implement RSPO, which is a European by the Dutch company, right?
Yes.
This is very difficult to comply, right? Then they changed the policy, but the Indonesia starting to implement Indonesia's ISPO. So Malaysia, MSPO, and the Primary Industry Ministry panic. So they lower the expectation. Why don't we have a Malaysia standard or MSPO? So and then it basically it's like carrot and stick. Okay, if you don't do it, you cannot sell your oil palm fruits already.
Yes.
Right? And they force the power industry say you accept those who have the certificate. So got no choice, isn't it? Everybody have to do it, right? MSPO.
Yeah.
So this is a success. Even though it's not perfect, because how can you afford a smallholder 100 acres, 40 hectare, to every year a certification, it costs you 20 to 40,000 consultants fee to certify your area. So that's why, right? So initially Is then they have a different way to do it, then how you group together and then get it done. So
understand.
may not be perfect. The standard is lower compared to RSPO, but it still get it done. One of the biggest achievement about this sustainability of Malaysia.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for sharing. So basically what I want to share is that it's not only about the regulation, but it's about consumer awareness, and also about the investor. They also want to invest in the sustainable companies, so that's why more and more people talk about sustainability. So just want to share what are the risks if SME not complying with ESG. So basically it can be two sides. First is the transition risk. It can be like policy, legal, technology, market and reputation risk. Second, it can be the acute or the chronic risk. So the transition risk, you can see that for policy and legal risk is about the reporting requirement. Technology is about the cost to transition. And then market risk is about the changing consumer behavior. And then physical risk is about some of the extreme weather event like forest fire, landslide or flood. Actually, some of us already feel it already because of the climate change. And also the chronic risks like the coastal erosion or risk towards safety. So this one is like just to briefly mention about the potential risks. And then just to share the final part, like how ESG strategy can drive the sustainable business growth. So first one is about long-term profitability, attract impact investor, improve risk management, strengthen brand reputation, drive innovation and market opportunities, and also foster employee engagement and retention. Alright, so basically almost coming to the end of the session. So can you tell me what do you learn today? Learn a lot, but learn in terms of what? Mm-hmm.
So that means this direction, see how to make it comply with ESG.
Oh, okay. How about you?
Hearing this ESG wanted to start, but don't know where to start. But right now we know how they assess the ESG things, like they got this carbon calculator, things like that. They really measure the carbon and stuff. Also, probably the action plan on how should we start. Start from the policies and stuff.
Very good. How about you? Nice. How about you?
Better understanding of the ESG and how to incorporate into the SPO.
Very good. How about you?
Okay. First, getting to know you. No. Number two is basically I have a fair bit of knowledge about ESG. Yeah?
Okay.
First, touching on that, when I was have this project with somebody, yeah. So we're doing some sort of property consultancy with them, and the first one I come across is about the really catch me is HVC, high value conservation area. They were very conscious of that, and also they have abandoned hilly area of more than 50 degrees that completely abandoned. oil palm plantation, and they wanted to leave it as it is, we grow to jungle. This is their first environmental issue. Then secondly, I touched in Sandabi is they were being caught say they're not allowed to sell. They were practicing labor, right? Labor issue, child labor, right? They've been banned by the US for selling felda and Sandabi. Not allowed to sell that. It's forced labor, exactly. So they were being banned and by the US and they're not allowed to sell the product, and it could be influenced by other European countries. Yeah. So we come to that is basically ESG is a very good platform. Yeah. So I would say is long road ahead for SME.
Yes, yes, correct.
So we are only touching all these ESG. We are touching say scope 1 and 2. Yeah, okay, formula. Yeah, yeah, that's it. And government have to have a strong view.
Yes.
To implement to push through this policy.
Yes.
Right. For SMEs, if they don't want to buy our product, we have to force to do it. Right?
Yes.
Let's say the guy here is selling fertilizer. Right? He's right import from Germany. If the German say you want to sell you want to buy my glyceride, what do we have in your ESG? Forced to do it, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So actually, for us like a small SME, yeah, a lot of us here is the Tawau we think about what's my cost to set up. Wait, I need to set up a special department. I employ 3 or 5 employees to do this. Yeah, everybody full time on that. Yeah, you got somebody call it query by whatever the common department. You need somebody to help you to do it. Yeah, the plantation, big plantation, they set up their own. Yeah, I visited Sandabi, Papua New Guinea oil palm plantation. They basically there. It was owned by a British. They already have their own called MSPO, no, RSPO department. It's sort of employed more than 10 person, basically some Malaysian as well. So they basically do look after this. Yeah? It's a cost.
Yes.
If the government wanted to push through this, first is they must give some sort of subsidy or tax incentive is very easy, right?
Yes.
If you have done this, I'll give you a tax like 5 years, 10 years incentive. So it's a carrot and stick. A small SME, because of cost structure input to their financial equation, they have to be sort of government to push you, and then you have to do it, and it's sort of a combination. Yeah, it's like a cocktail of things that to make it a successful ESG compliance.
Yes, correct. Thank you for sharing. Very good.
I was louder please.
Alright, so basically the learning outcome for today is like at least you understand the importance of sustainability in professional and personal life, and also you can further develop and apply specific ESG strategy whereby I listed down here. You can start doing some already. And lastly is to choose the grant and tax incentive to apply. So further details of the grant and tax incentive, I can share the guideline, and if you have further questions, we can further communicate. So in the end, can you scan the QR code to do the HRDC evaluation? And then also Google review. So Google review is for my training provider AIHQ. And then I give you 3 to 5 minutes to do that. Is that okay? Yeah, now. Because this, okay, first one is for HRDC to evaluate my training today. And then Google review is just to review my training provider, or you can review myself, like how I perform as a trainer for today.
But don't give them give you the good review.
Thank you.